This is a Muncie broadcast. Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Podcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 337. Right. And now we have a special guest, Mr. Jimmy. All right, Jimmy, call on the phone.
We take live calls.
All right, we have the Jimmy on the phone.
We're live.
Sidekick.
We're live every Friday
Hello?
night. Not every Friday.
Yeah, he didn't give the number yet.
We take calls.
Uncle's fired out of a cannon, boy.
What happened?
Is everybody ready for live? Uncle is fired out
Let's
of
get
a
a lemonade.
cannon.
I'm ready to drink the beer.
I know, but Franz, quickly, man, 319-527-5016. That is the number to call in if you want to join on the Uncle Show. 319-527-5016. Mr. Jimmy James, I have the number in advance.
For Jimmy James.
Jimmy James, you are live with Uncle.
We had the same show. What is happening here?
Hey, Uncle, what is happening?
I'm trying to have a
everything's an hour out.
Friday night drinking beer contest, and everybody starts talking. Nobody's saying anything.
I don't know what to do with ourselves.
Oh,
Jimmy.
Pat, I thought you wanted Jimmy on.
Your idea about
What the heck?
I thought you wanted Jimmy on right away, Uncle. Sorry, go ahead.
What is this?
I'm trying to tell you, I thought
talking
you
at
wanted Jimmy on right away, so I put him on right away. Didn't you want him on right away?
Yeah, we had him on. I was talking to him, I thought.
Yeah, he's right there. Okay, go ahead, Jimmy.
I forgot we had phone lines.
Yeah, but when you forget the phone, you forget your head. Sidekick. You forget your head sometimes.
Yeah, you're going to forget your ears one of these days. Somebody's going to mistake you for a cue ball. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
All right, I got the three big sports headlines right now, and I just want to get your comments on it. The one I heard is that by the grace of God, the Detroit Tigers have made the postseason for the first time in a decade.
They did.
Caitlin Clark, unfortunately, has come an end to her streak due to her team, but she clearly is already the greatest of all time in that league. And three, unfortunately, I heard Brett Favre has Parkinson's disease.
Well, I knew that. I knew he did there because he was just talking about that on the Sports Thing channel. This past, yeah, about him, about Paul. And well, he was done before he started being retired.
He's been retired for a minute, yeah. Brett Favre.
So that was what was going to happen. I thought that was having to happen. And, no,
I didn't know about Detroit Tigers.
Detroit Tigers made the playoffs.
That's wild, yeah.
That is nice. Yeah. So that means now we have two teams in postseason: the Phillies,
yeah,
and Detroit.
Detroit, yeah.
Now we have to find out who's the rest in the story of the baseball.
Yeah,
and
the Dodgers are in, right? Aren't the Dodgers in?
I haven't heard yet. I haven't heard. Where's Eddie today? Hey, get on here, Eddie. We are talking baseball.
We need you. You are the expert, the resident expert. Yeah. Expert is Ed for sure in baseball.
Baseball thing.
Mm-hmm. But we'll do what we can. We appreciate all the updates, Jimmy, because I hadn't known. Yeah. I didn't. I've been following baseball. I really haven't.
I haven't either because they have this football kick in this house. I can't get a chance to watch another program. The problem here is you're on that football thing, so on the kick, So I can't find out what's happening in baseball, end of the season series.
You get distracted.
What's going to happen?
Well, hey, Uncle,
That's what my problem is.
Well, how about you use your smartphone? Uncle.
Who is this? This ain't Jimmy.
No, this is Chuck. This is your producer. I got a suggestion for you to solve your baseball problem. How about you use your smartphone and you put on a little TV app, and then you can catch up on your baseball on your cell phone? Why don't you do that?
I do that.
There you go.
How do you do that?
How do you do that? Brain, Uncle. You use your brain.
You go to Pluto TV. They got a free app for TV stations. It's not all great, but guaranteed you could find yourself in ESPN. Yeah, I'm serious. Aaron, you heard of Pluto?
Yeah, well, I never knew that. I didn't know that.
You heard of Pluto TV?
Do I know about this? Is that the question?
Well, Aaron, you've heard of Pluto TV, right? Pluto TV.
Pluto TV, I know the name, but I don't know what it is.
Okay. It's another streaming service, except they offer mainly, it's so weird, their main push is free. They have a premium, but their main push is free. I've had it for 2 years, and I use it sometimes to get my broadcasts.
I would like to try to put it on my phone or something.
To watch baseball.
To watch baseball,
Believe it or not, I used it to keep track of the weather, the live weather reports recently because of the hurricane.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
that sounds useful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There you go. Man, Pluto TV. Okay, there it is, Uncle.
We'll have to check up on that.
Have to check the old App Store, I guess.
The App Store.
Wow. And it looks like...
look at the App Store. Just look and see.
Hey, Jimmy, are the Tigers definitely in, by the way?
Put it on my phone.
Are the Tigers definitely in? Jimmy? Where'd Jimmy go?
Well, they definitely won. They're definitely moving forward.
Well, now, I was just curious because...
No, they definitely... They've just gone farther than they have in 10 years. They aren't in like plan that yet.
Well, they're not in yet.
Oh, I see. They're working their way toward it. But not. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like right now we're still waiting on. We're still waiting on certain people to be settled for the wild card. Apparently, what I see is that Houston is in there.
Oh no!
Yes.
Not that team.
Uh-oh.
I hate that team.
I know. I knew this would be a problem.
I do not like that team.
Oh boy, we got to do something.
I got to have a problem with that. I do not want to see Houston in it. They're cheaters.
Uncle, what are we gonna do?
Here I go again with this baseball now. They're starting up already.
They have to be stopped.
No. Yes, they need to be stopped and not even be in it. Is what the point is here.
Well, how do we do that? We got to brainstorm. There's got to be a way.
That messes up the baseball season right there.
But Uncle, aren't most of those jerks gone? Aren't most of those jerks gone that were cheating with the banging on the can and all that? Aren't most of them gone now? Or am I wrong?
Altuve was on the team. Is he still there?
Altuve, he's still there.
Is that guy still playing? He was part of it.
He was part of it.
He's the only one I remember as a player. I don't recall other than that, really.
And as far as Brett Favre with his damage, look, these guys with the head injuries, they don't realize that your long-term cognitive disorders, from Lou Gehrig's disease to Parkinson's to dementia of all sorts, including Alzheimer's, all this stuff can be traced back to damage done to the brain, to traumatic brain injury. So the idea that Brett Favre, after a bunch of years, again, it's the price of the game, right? For the people that say, why do they pay these guys millions of dollars to play ball? Well, they could be potentially dooming themselves, to 10, 20 years of suffering.
Look at Tua went home. He's not even on the team now. He went home. They got a new quarterback.
Oh yeah, Tua. Yeah, I worry about that guy for sure. He's
the same thing too.
You look at what happened to him and you don't see a bright future.
Yeah, but after you suffer many head injuries, right? It's cumulative, the damage. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just horrendous. Yeah. I'm not making light of it or jokes. I know this is a comedy show, but truth is, if you're going to bring this up and you're going to talk sports, you can't avoid. Look. Brain damage leads to bad things.
No, I know that. Mainly brain damage in football definitely is the big problem. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
It's real.
It is real.
Yeah, but we aren't live on the Ochelli Radio Network on Friday night. You may call in if you want.
Oh, that sounds
like Jimmy's here now. Jimmy, what you got for us?
What else you got, Jimmy?
Well, I was just going to say, I seen Brett Favre a few weeks ago do an interview, and I knew something was up. He was showing his speech and stuff and talking about concussions. And he said his doctor told him, how many concussions do you think you've had in your life? He said, I think it's about 4, 5. He said, yeah, right. Try about 4,000 or 5,000.
That sounds right.
Every time you got tackled, he says, how many times? He says, every time you got tackled, tell me, did you ever hear ringing in your head like a bell? He said, yeah, every time. He says, yeah, that was a concussion.
That counts as a concussion.
That's not necessarily true, because like the head injury I suffered recently, right? I definitely had a ringing in my head, nasty ring. But when they did the CT and they did, this and that for me at the hospital, no evidence of that. They could see the past problems, but a fresh injury, no. And believe me, my head was ringing so loud that I started screaming at the guy who hit me, and I couldn't even hear his responses. That's how loud it was in my head. And according to the hospital there, I was not concussed. Now, it could be that they're inept jerks, but generally speaking, if the machine, examines me and can't come up with a concussion, I'm thinking, that there's one time, and I've been, had plenty of rings in the head over the years. You get hit in the head with a bat and a brick, this kind of thing, tends to leave a ringing noise in your head for a little while. It's just kind of common.
Yeah.
And these football guys, same thing. I mean, did you ever play any sort of football, Uncle? You ever try Pop Warner football or something like that when you were a kid?
I was playing it in high school.
Oh, you played? Wait, you played high school football?
No. In PE.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, phys ed. All right. No, I'm talking about when you actually put on a helmet, pads, that kind of thing.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not having a full uniform. No.
Yeah. See, I only did that before high school. I didn't play high school ball at all, but I did play. I know it sounds strange for a guy like me, but I was, the blind guy, right? A blind guy in a bad neighborhood. Let me go out for the football team. That'll be good. Instead
ring
of one
your bell a little bit.
Yeah, ring my bell. Instead of one guy trying to chase me to knock me to the ground like normal every time I try to go home, I got 10 of them. No, that's okay. But I played Pop Warner and midget ball and all that. They used to call it midgets, midget football. It was part of the Pop Warner thing. Anyways, but I was just wondering because there's a distinctive ringing that you get when your head's been hit when you're in a helmet. And the funny part to me is that being hit really, really hard with another headbutt, like this guy who crashed into me, that headbutt sounded just like it does when you get hit wearing a helmet. It's the same bang. But it doesn't necessarily always mean technically a concussion. But even the fact that they named Lou Gehrig's disease the way it was, they realized it was because he didn't have a rest after injuries like being hit in the head with a baseball. Because even though he was a great player, he actually was struck in the head a bunch of times. And, he continued to do his streaks. Sometimes he'd only take one at bat and, be out of the game to keep that streak going. The longest playing streak in history until, what's his name? Cal Ripken beat it out, right, Uncle?
Yeah. Right. Cal Ripken did it.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's get back to the rest of it. Yeah.
But we also have this guy in New York, this judge, too, now. We got Judge doing this running thing.
What, Aaron Judge?
We're talking about sports still?
Yeah.
Okay.
This New York guy.
Oh, you're talking a guy on the Yankees team?
Yeah.
Okay, he's got some record going?
He got a record guy, too, and he's going at it like that.
A lot of records being broken right now.
Baseball record, huh?
Yeah, there's some baseball. Ohtani famously did the 50-50 for the first time ever. That was the big news last week, I think.
That flies in the face of modern American baseball completely. You know that.
Yeah. Because you're talking about the 50-50?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you mean by that, John.
Without being pumped up on steroids or something? A guy who appears to not be unnatural?
Open up this drink.
Right?
We're talking about Ohtani now?
Yeah, Ohtani.
Okay.
A completely legit athlete hitting 50 home runs, first of all, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll shut up. But what about Aaron Judge, though? You were talking about Judge. What is he doing? Uncle, what's the big deal?
He's hitting home runs and trying to get records breaking. All these runs he's hitting that they're talking about.
That's good.
Okay.
That's what everybody's looking for. We want to see these records broken. We're watching baseball, not just to watch it. We want to see records broken.
Whoa, I see a headline on Google after missing 56 games in 2023 due mainly to a toe injury. No kidding. The Yankees superstar is raking in 2024. He has 51 home runs through 130 games, putting him on pace to hit 63 this season, a number that would represent the highest single-season total of his career.
Good. That's what we're talking about.
Which Judge is he related to, Aaron Judge, by the way?
Mike
99 are the Yankees.
99. He's related to 99?
His number.
Oh, okay, so he is 99.
Yeah.
And he's related to somebody that's Judge, because clearly that's his name, so he must have somebody else's Judge.
I don't know who Judge name. What name is Judge?
Yeah, I don't know
Judge's name.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Dad, Grandpa.
That's another story, I guess. Could have
his family,
somebody in his family, maybe.
Presumably have the same name, I assume.
Yeah.
So he's related to them. He's breaking records. Baseball's just going crazy. I mean, clearly. We see that. We know that.
What do you guys got to drink tonight? I'm ready to drink this beer.
Okay, so I'm totally...
Yeah, have you started drinking yet, Uncle?
I'm about to.
Oh, you haven't even started.
I'm totally wrong about Aaron Judge.
Drinking a beer.
Quick correction. You guys are going to... Okay, so you guys are going to drink a beer. You got to describe that, and it's time to do a rating, right?
Uncle's foregoing the rating, and he's just
like, hey, I'm just jamming this black boy. Okay.
I just wanted something to drink.
Hey, Uncle,
a woman with me.
I just want to tell you.
Started to open it up.
That's the spirit.
Listen, just for the listeners, real fast, and then I'll get off the line and go take care of other stuff. Judge was born in Sacramento, California, and he was adopted the day after he was born by Patty and Wayne Judge, who both worked as teachers in Linden, California. He has an older brother, John.
I didn't have anybody in California look like Judge. Who do we have in Judge that lived in California?
He has an older brother, John, who was also adopted.
No.
Yeah, just letting you know.
This is
so I was completely
where the Judge comes from.
Well, I was flat wrong about him being related to somebody. You see, he was adopted, so we don't know who he was related to at all, and Judge is his adopted name. So I just wanted to point that out.
It's his adopted name. No, that is interesting how we were talking about that, and then it works out that he's adopted. He took the name of his family. Cool. So, it's interesting.
Just wanted to correct the record. So what kind of beer do we have there, Aaron? What's going on with this?
Miller beer, light beer.
That's a light beer?
No, Miller beer.
That's Miller?
Wait, you hold it up
to the camera so people can see it on our live stream.
Oh, geez, Aaron, I'm disappointed.
So, don't be too dismayed, Chuck. It might not have been a complete, accurate description.
Okay.
What we got here is Modelo.
Modelo. Okay. The beer
that
flies in the face of the culture wars.
Oh, does it? Oh boy. Oh, we're
you don't know about that?
We're either being... I don't know.
They intentionally... It's not...
imported from Mexico.
Yeah, it's not Bud Light, right? It's one of these things where they talk about proud, hardworking people.
No, it's that...
Yeah, go ahead.
It's that kind of beer he mentioned.
Right. Yeah, it's
I didn't realize until I noticed it. I thought it was the light beer.
Not to worry, Uncle. Uncle, it is not a light beer, so you're doing just fine there. No light beer.
But a big publicity campaign. Big publicity campaign for Modelo. Okay, I don't know if you know that or not.
Yeah.
But for years, yeah.
You're talking about the working man. This guy built himself up. He's been pinstriping cars for decades,
that guy.
and he does it on. You're talking about that marketing.
Yeah. And then this guy, he was a fighter, and he was a fighter just like his parents who came over from another country, and they scrap for everything, and they enjoy a good beer, Modelo.
Well, it's leaning into a lot of things. It's leaning into the working class ethos, the self-made Americana concept, but also the Mexican immigrant population.
At one point,
into that, it's imported from Mexico, so they're going with the demographic that imported themselves from Mexico here, and that's the demographic there that marketing campaign is doing. So
and literally
a lot of Latino artists, craftsmen are part of it.
And Uncle will love
boxer,
this.
I think you said, or something.
Yeah, and Uncle will love this. It kind of flew directly in the face of a lot of what the Trumpy people were saying directly on major marketing campaigns on TV, like during the Super Bowl where there was lots of Trump viewers. They did a special that's right, we're actually with the immigrants. Modelo.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
I never
remember.
So I never really put two and two together.
Yeah,
with
that's
that
what I'm trying to tell you.
But I guess that makes sense, huh?
Yeah. So I thought Uncle would enjoy
let me get
that.
this straight.
Yeah.
He's a co-element man now.
You talking about Trump?
Who's a what?
What the heck is wrong with him?
No. He's against immigrants. He's very much like, no, they send us bad people. They open up their insane asylums. They send us criminals. They're bad people. That's his thing. Anyway, enough of that. It's time for comedy. I'm just saying that you should love that beer because this is all about, you know what? That guy that you keep calling a nutcase and everything else, this beer pissed him off for about a month. A while ago, just with a commercial.
Did he actually mention it? He mentioned it like on the campaign trail. He's like whining about Modelo. That happened?
No, somehow or other, he got sidetracked.
Like something that would have happened.
And his surrogates were out there like, oh, well, we realized we're not going to take the bait from the libs here. They did this during the Super Bowl, specifically because they knew that Super Bowl time is Trump time. They did that. I mean, seriously, his surrogates, if you go back and look, it's like they were doing that for a bit. It was very funny, I thought.
I didn't realize that.
Man.
Hey, we're getting something out of it.
Uncle,
we're getting something out of the beer.
Yeah.
This drinking that I'm doing.
I'm not even drinking and my head hurts from all of this.
No.
Like, I have the hangover just from listening, and I had not heard about this. All makes sense. It all tracks with.
And the nice thing is,
stories
does it have the slogan on this beer, by the way, guys? Because the slogan is the mark of a fighter.
No. It does not have their latest marketing slogan on it.
I don't see
it's
it.
The can as it has been. They did not put that on there, but it makes sense. But they've kept the actual branding on the can and the packaging the same for as long as I can remember now.
So they actually call it cerveza.
At some point, but
they actually call it cerveza on the beer then.
Oh yeah.
Okay. No,
I didn't realize that this was what this was.
Mm-hmm.
All this time I thought it was a light beer. I'm looking.
I think he thinks it looks like Miller Lite, which it kind of does, right? Kind of looks like Miller Lite, but it ain't Miller Lite because Miller Lite's terrible. This Modelo is not bad. It's also funky to me because there's only one L on Modelo. You notice that?
Yeah, that one.
That's right.
Right after the O.
It's weird.
Right.
End of the O.
Yeah, no, I think, Uncle, you're getting confused with Miller Lite because the colors are similar. So
they are.
So you're associating the color scheme with light beer.
And California,
so Miller Lite was successful in their branding and doing that to your brain.
And I don't know if you saw
the truth is
the marketing in California, but if you notice, there's like a global thing with wheat and barley wrapped around the globe, and it says brewed with a fighting spirit. That's the slogan for specifically the Modelo Special. Now, is this a special Modelo or what is it exactly?
Yes. Modelo Especial, which is
there you go. Okay.
It's a regular Pilsner beer.
So, Uncle, that is brewed with a fighting spirit, right? A fighting spirit that beer is brewed with, Uncle. What do you think?
Not bad.
I like it. It's a good beer. They have the dark porter
look,
style,
right?
which they call. That's a good one too. They're good. I like them.
And they also say that this beer has been in existence since 1925. Which I find fascinating.
Actually beats out the light then.
And then we do have Creative Accents in the chat over at Twitch. He is informing us that Modelo is distributed by Anheuser-Busch, so we all know.
Oh, yes.
So we know who to inform Kid Rock about so that he can take the appropriate
action. It is now.
Oh, he's gonna get mad. He's gonna get mad. He's gonna be shooting bottles of Modelo off his fence. You watch.
Yeah. And then a week later, he'll be getting paid by them to hawk the product himself.
Now, what's interesting?
That's after he gets over it.
Now, what's interesting about this 1925 date, just last historical serious piece, is that, quite frankly, when was Prohibition? Aaron, do you know off the top of your head, Mr. College guy?
I know the decade was the 20s. I don't know the exact year it began and ended, but I know it was during the 1920s.
20s through the 30s, right?
I'm serious about.
Which, by the way, shout out.
Okay, so it ended in the early 30s. Okay.
Correct. So
be serious about this. This could be a serious problem we have
but
this
here's
coming
the thing.
year.
1920 to 1933 is Prohibition. Modelo was literally created during Prohibition, according to their date that they put on their bottle.
Yeah. So it was here. And this man.
Well,
Isn't that cool?
That was they weren't in the U.S., so they're celebrating their freedom in their own country to make alcohol.
And
still.
the guarantee is that
and
you know,
it wouldn't have mattered down there.
and I
right?
promise you that there were some Italian businessmen who made certain that some Mexican beer made it into the United States. You know, they just assisted with its travel plans. I promise you, this is one of those beers that came in, you know, before they figured out how to manufacture all by themselves, and they saved money doing that. When they were buying cheap Mexican booze and also buying molasses and stuff out of Canada to bring as much booze into America as they could, because you couldn't even get it fast enough to sell it during Prohibition. And it's what built the gangster underworld in the early part of the 20th century. Guess what? Modelo is a part of that somehow. Now, they don't focus on their Prohibition time and how they were probably, you know, supplying beer to half of the southern states at that point. And I bet you they've been very careful to make sure that, you know, like your Encyclopedia Britannica doesn't carry this information. But I assure you, Modelo was part of the Prohibition era importation of spirits. Okay? So there you go. What's your thoughts on the beer, though? How's it doing for you, Uncle?
Pretty good. It's catching up there. It's catching up to a 7.
Oh, catching up to a 7. I don't know.
Oh, you're considering your rating.
He's considering his rating, yeah.
Getting close to a 7.
Working its way up.
Yeah.
He's getting there. Huh?
That's of course, I was always thinking that these were light beers, and then when I realized when you saying that, well, what this word is on the can here, I said, oh, we're drinking this beer.
We are.
I'm confused. I was confused.
Well, it's confusing, all of this beer stuff. It looks like it would be a light beer. It's not. So, you know.
By the way,
I guess is what they say.
I've gotten a second notice about the Dodgers roasting the Rockies, by the way, tonight, Uncle. Are you aware of that game?
9-1. 9-1.
No, sir. I'm sorry, but one of you is incorrect.
9-1.
Phase shifter.
It's the Dodgers. Dodgers won 9-1.
Well, Eddie says
11-4.
11-4.
Well, it was 9-1. I don't know if that was the final.
Oh, that was before. Okay, that was before it ended. It was at 9-1. Then
9-1.
Then it went higher the score.
Right.
So it's 11-1 now.
11-4.
Oh, they scored 3 more scores.
It don't matter
3 more
much.
points.
You know,
11-4.
Yeah.
Now I wonder how close they are to have a title.
I don't know. I haven't looked at the standings. You want me to check them out for you while you're still consuming your beer?
Well, we're drinking this. Go ahead.
I know. I just want to know if you want me to go check those facts for you and figure out who's close to what?
Yeah.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
I'll go find out.
Okay, very good. Yes, for your baseball.
Meantime, where's Jimmy?
In the meantime, Jimmy.
Jimmy, what's up with you?
Jimmy hung up.
There.
Jimmy hung up, or we lost him. Let me see if I can, if he called back in, but somehow he was gone. Yeah, okay. Jimmy's not on the line.
We're also, if anybody wants to call, they still can.
Absolutely.
Still going. 319-527-5016, or you can use Skype. Charles.Ochelli is Chuck. You type him a message, he'll bring you on Skype. Or 319-527-5016 is our phone number that you can call. So please do. We love taking calls on Uncle the Broadcast.
And
That's
Uncle,
what we do here on
Uncle,
Friday
before
nights.
you ask me, I do not have access to the international listeners tonight. I do not know who is on from what part of the world or the number tonight. Yeah, it's not functioning correctly.
Oh, that's because probably the storm.
Yep, the storm is screwing up everything.
The storm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that storm did it. I can understand that. The storm did it.
Oh, this is what the QAnoners were always talking about. The storm is coming.
The storm is coming.
Here it is.
And now I can't find out who was listening.
I know.
They screwed me up through that stupid storm.
I know. I don't.
Yes, sorry, Uncle.
I don't like it one bit.
Nothing I can do about it,
Yeah, I know.
So standing right now, if you want to know about the American and national standings, the American League East, currently the Yankees are atop of that division, and they are up by 4 games. Let's see. In the National League in the East, you have the Phillies, which are up by 6 over the Braves at the moment. National League Central has the Brewers, which I always hated the fact they moved the Brewers to the National League, but they are over the Cubs by 10 games right now. And the Dodgers are in first place in the National League West. The Dodgers by 4.5 games in the West.
The Giants, right?
No, the Dodgers are over or in the what do you call it?
I mean, over the. Who's the second behind them?
Oh, you want to know who's behind the Dodgers?
Who's on second? Who's on first?
Padres.
No, who's behind them?
Padres are behind the Dodgers. Yeah.
Padres are not beating this year.
Oh, yeah, the Padres.
Where does Padres come from?
San Diego.
San Diego Padres.
I don't know where they come from.
Well, they got to come from 4.5 games back if they want a shot.
After that batch, who
Well, in the American League,
the wild card?
Yeah, well, that's
these kind of contests.
Not been decided yet, but I'll get the wild card calculations in a moment. The Yankees are atop the American League East. They are up by 4 games. The Guardians, the Cleveland Guardians, are at the top of the American League Central, over the Tigers at the moment by 6 games.
What are they saying that he picked the division for?
Well, I think
he don't know where he was.
Well, hang on, I got to check the Tigers.
Jimmy.
The Tigers might be, but Uncle, the Tigers might be in the wild card race. Let me see. And of course, you're unhappy about it, but the Astros are atop of the American League West. Okay. Now. They're showing, let's see, who's clinched the division. So far, they're stating on this one website that the Astros have clinched their division. The Guardians have clinched their division. Let's see. And this in the American League shows me 3 possible teams right now vying for the wild card. And the Yankees have also clinched their division. So, let's see what we have for the National League. Clinched division.
On Phillies.
The Dodgers.
Phillies is one.
I guess the Dodgers have clinched their division. Is that right? Wow.
Well, there you go. See, I figured the Dodgers must have done it. I know that they've been playing well, Ohtani, all that.
Yeah.
So.
And they're 4 games
They've
up.
been good.
And then the Phillies won, so we knew that.
The Phillies,
they're on the list.
So the Phillies have their division clinched, and the Brewers have their division clinched, which leaves the Padres are the only for certain wild card in the National League right now.
That has a shot for a wild card spot.
Well, that's the one that has the best shot at a wild card in the National League. In the American League, you have the Orioles, Tigers, and Royals. That's why he's saying Tigers. The Tigers are in the wild card run.
Oh.
That's
wild card race. Yeah. I see.
So they could possibly
that makes sense.
Get in there on the wild card, because they're in the same division as they're in the same division as the Guardians, Cleveland Guardians, and the Royals and the Twins. They're in that division that I don't even care about at all. Never did. Like even when I was a kid, and it was like, I want to watch baseball. Who's playing on Sunday or whatever? Oh, it's the White Sox and the Royals. Yeah, I'm gonna go outside. You know what I mean? I had no interest.
Where's Jimmy? Where's who's you call it this day?
Who's you call it? Which
Ed.
you call it?
Where's Ed these days?
Love to hear
it, Fred. Right?
Is he in the chat?
He is in the chat.
Get him on this phone.
If he wants to call, maybe.
And we're talking baseball. What's he doing?
Well, he might be at work. He might be at work.
Oh.
He might be at work. It's hard for him to get, to the phone when he's at work sometimes, right? I'm just saying.
We're talking baseball tonight, for his sake.
Well, maybe if he gets a lunch break, I don't know how late he's got to be there. But could be. Anyway, hey, shout out hello to Creative Accidents over there. Which one is he in? The Twitch chat room?
No, he's in your chat.
Sidekick? He's not mine.
But Chuck.
Chuck, it's in your chili.
Now, wait a minute. First, you're insulting Uncle with calling me Uncle. But second, he's not in my chat.
Oh, well, who's Face Shifter? That's not Ed.
No, that's Ed. I said Creative Accidents. I wasn't talking about Ed. I said which
I thought
Creative
you were talking about
Accidents.
Ed now.
No.
I'm all kinds of confused about
I'm talking about Ed about baseball. And you're going to be talking about something else.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Ed, who I thought was Face Shifter.
Ed in baseball.
We did talk about Ed, and I said he might
Ed's
be
in baseball.
He would love to talk baseball, but he might be at work. I'm saying, so I asked where's Creative Accidents at? After that, it was a separate
Accidents,
issue.
yes. Creative Accidents was in the chat at Twitch.
Okay.
Uh-oh, it's falling apart here.
Uh-oh.
What the heck is this?
We got a microphone failure?
It's a camera. It's a webcam. Probably part of a Chinese botnet anyway. So why do we even use
here looking at it?
Webcam down.
It's going to create some sort of... Our devices are going to create a national security issue. What are we even doing with it?
I don't know why we got him up here. I'm trying to relax my hand, my elbow.
More trouble than it's worth.
Skynet will become self-aware through Aaron's webcam. Yes.
I need to update it. The NSA told me I need to update it.
Yeah, you better put your patches in.
They didn't say exactly how. They didn't say what camera to buy. They didn't tell me what camera isn't a possible candidate to be corrupted by a hacker.
Why bother to give you information when they can just freak you out, Aaron? I mean, please.
That's a lot more fun. Yeah.
In the spirit
easier. Of Halloween.
It's easier. You can get the job done.
That's what's coming next.
You can go to lunch right away.
Okay.
What about Halloween?
People were putting Halloween costumes on now.
See, what are you doing for Halloween, Uncle, huh?
Last year I was giving out candy.
Uh-huh.
I might do some exercise.
You could do some exercise? You could go walk around the neighborhood?
Walk around the neighborhood.
What are you going to do? You going to go around as zombie Richard Simmons and sweating to the oldies for people, Uncle? What are you going to do? Huh?
Well, I'd be dressed up at my picture. Set up in my picture.
Nice. You'd be set up as your picture?
My picture.
Okay.
There you go. Why not?
My picture.
So you are not going to be you. You're going to be the Uncle the Podcast logo.
Yeah.
Uncle is going to be the logo to Uncle the Podcast for Halloween. I
was thinking of it. I'm thinking of using that.
I like that idea.
Well, somebody better get started.
I have to do this.
Somebody or your Mrs. Sidekick
Mrs. Sidekick.
Have to. Someone do.
Well, you've come up with a concept.
Well, now I got something to do.
Yeah.
See, I get these things. There's something for these two to do to move along, see?
Yeah.
So you got now to start.
That's good.
Realize it.
Uncle, I think, speaking of the start, I think we're toward the end of the show here.
End of the show? What the heck was all the people?
Well,
we only had Jimmy on the phone, and now he disappeared. disappeared. We don't have a doctor. Took a shout out.
Well, it's okay. We're not done yet. You have to, before we go, you have to give a rating to the beer you drank.
Yeah, we need a rating.
I said a 7.
Okay,
Wait,
so that's your final answer.
You're sticking to the 7? I thought he was pondering the 7. No?
It's a 7. It's a 7.
It's a 7.
What?
A solid 7. 7 out of 10 for Modelo.
Not over that 10, though. Not over that 10. Definitely not.
Okay.
But, so 7 is okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Sorry. What did your drink count as, Chuck? What you had?
Oh, yeah, good question.
Well, Mrs. O got me a soda from the Circle K because that was all I could get tonight. And, I'm not even sure what soda it is. That's the funny part. So I rate it a 4 because it doesn't suck, but I don't know what it is. So there you go. How's that for a rating, Uncle?
So the label goes a long way, in other words, Uncle. You want to know, first of all, what it is you have.
That's it. That's it.
If that part's not there, then it's almost...
You can't wait. You can't wait, water.
If I
you can't wait tonight.
If I had that Modelo.
You have water. That's a 0.
If I had that Modelo.
Mine's a 0.
Now, if I had that Modelo that Uncle has, I got to tell you something. I would rate it higher than Uncle did. I like it.
That's a surprise.
I do like the Modelo. Okay. When I had a Modelo, if I think back, I'd have to give it an 8.5. I enjoy it that much.
It's only another 1 up.
It's a good one. I do like it.
No, it's 1.5.
1 up that I gave. It's 1 up that I gave.
Yeah, 1.5. 8.5.
There's no wrong answer, Uncle.
No wrong
answer.
But I'm just saying.
Well, you got a 7 out of this. Yeah. Out of me.
That's saying something.
That is saying something.
And Sidekicks got water,
have to have tasting and strong taste to get it up.
Gotcha. And I promise you, Jimmy James has a Mountain Dew of some kind.
Oh, I know Jimmy. I know what Jimmy had.
Mountain Dew.
His Mountain Dew.
Of course.
I mean, but I didn't even mention it to him. But
no, but he got busy with something or other, so it was past his bedtime. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, that's how I feel right now. I'm my thread, Uncle.
Well, here's the thing.
Wait a minute. It should be past 10 o'clock now.
It is.
Of course, remember we started late.
We did. But we also said we were going to Blazing Hazen style do this all fast.
Yeah,
that's what. And this is the ending. Correct?
I think so.
Is that where we're going?
Yeah, it's the ending.
I think. But before we do.
Before what happens?
Well, this is important, Uncle. We need to promote ourselves. Otherwise, what the heck are we even doing this for?
You want to promote ourselves.
There's no...
I wouldn't make it a habit calling me that, son.
Who's that?
That's us telling everybody to go to @UnclePodcast. That's on YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram.
I'm tired myself.
I think Twitch is the same thing. @UnclePodcast. You'll find us.
There you go.
So follow us there. We're live Friday night, every Friday on the Ochelli Radio Network. That's Ochelli.com. So Chuck made it happen today in the midst of the devastation that was the hurricane.
Yeah, so my apologies for the technical difficulties. Sorry, fellas. Apologies for the technical difficulties, but at least we pulled the show off. And if anybody in the state of Georgia is listening, shout out to you if maybe somebody's got a couple of scoops of dog food for me, because I had to buy candles instead of dog food. Oh, no, I had to buy candles to make sure I had, light. And I'm a little short on the dog food. So if anybody in the state of Georgia happens to be listening, I happen to know we got a couple of listeners now in Georgia. I could definitely use a couple scoops of dry dog food, at least for the my little pack of Mighty Mini Mutts. Okay? Just a little short until Monday or Tuesday. So, anybody wants to chip in on that, I'd be most appreciative.
Okay. Well, and shout out to you, Chuck. Thank you very much for being here every week, and certainly especially this week. It was a Herculean task.
Well, unless I'm terribly ill in the hospital or out of town, I do my level best to show up because, as I told Aaron on his show once, I want to tell Uncle this to his, kind of like to his face virtually, okay? That I am most grateful to have been working with you guys for so many years, and it has been a fun ride with both of you all this time, and I probably would not still be doing this with the little mini network, and still willing to work with other people, by the way, even though it doesn't look like it lately. I would not be able to continue to do this with a smile on my face or to feel hopeful that we are doing something unique and great. And with the individual and very, very different comedy style of Uncle, combined with the performance artist attitude of Aaron Franz, I just want my shout out tonight to go to both of you for having remained with me as long as you have, and letting me be part of this. And, hopefully I've done a good enough job over the years that when this does eventually come to an end, you guys will always remember this as a great time in the history of you guys broadcasting and producing podcasts, because it's been a great time for me, and I thank both of you for that.
Likewise, Chuck. Yeah.
I couldn't do it without you.
Yeah.
And with him, I would never get on the air. Right. You really pushed it up to another level.
That's why you hired him.
Yeah. That was the reason too.
Chuck.
There you go. So, one of these days we got to talk about my pay, Uncle, but we'll get there. Maybe on my 10th anniversary of doing this show with you. I was thinking of getting paid with some of these. What we're trying to do here is, Sunkit,
yes.
Can you please have time to talk to your neighbors over here?
So that they can give us a lot of money?
So that we can have a conversation with them.
Maybe let's
get with the program. We've been sitting here on Friday nights, and these other guys on the show, and they're not having anybody to talk to them.
Yeah,
but we can't seem to talk to them.
Yeah.
You're the one that have to talk to them.
I'll see what I can do.
Either that, or you could get involved in the crazy world of ex-mafia men podcasting, which is apparently a new thing, a very, very big trend that was started by Sammy the Bull and Mike Francesi. Okay, these two guys really blazed a trail as far as ex-mob people that survived and now do podcasts and motivational speaking. Not so much Sammy, but Michael Francesi is like a motivational speaker. Let me teach you how to be like a mob boss, except the Christian way. Don't kill nobody. Just saying. They would be a great guest, either one of them, for you guys. Would you be interested in talking to somebody from the mafia, Uncle? Yeah, well, something to start up this talk show. We need. Yeah. I think I just heard Aaron start to sweat.
Talking to people.
We're talking to people.
Now, if say, example, he ever gets on the ball and talks to his neighbor over here.
Yep.
To get it over to have a even a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, wouldn't you mind like to try to have us talk to each other with our producer, with you, Chuck, and whoever they are running with, so we really could have a good conversation talk.
Mm.
Know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, do a special crossover interview kind of thing. Yeah, I got you.
Right. That was it. Crossover thing. That's what I'm sort of liking. To try it. I wanted to try it that way.
Boy, oh boy. Listeners, I just got the numbers for some of the stream. I think it's partial numbers, Uncle, but I wanted to let you know because it actually changed from what I told you before. So we have, oddly, the listener in Germany has only just joined us a half hour ago. The German pub.
Germany guy. Oh, yeah. That's interesting.
That's very weird because I don't know. They keep weird business hours over there. And, and apparently Ochelli.com is one of their favorite online radio stations. We have one, two.
Oh, you know what? It just occurred to me.
Yeah.
They're on an 8-hour difference. Is this the time of day that they're usually listening, Chuck?
Yeah, it does seem like exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they're like a restaurant, bar, or something like that,
right?
A pub.
Mm-hmm. So we're like their morning listeners.
Here's my.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a theory.
It could be them.
I have a working theory of they're doing it's restaurant, pub in Germany listening to us. I think that somebody comes into the restaurant early and does prep work, maybe for food or whatever the prep work is for the restaurant before they open. Right. And what they like to do is, for some reason, they personally enjoy the station. So while they're doing the prep work, they're in the kitchen or whatever, or nobody's even in the place. It's just them doing the prep work for the day. They're listening to Ochelli.com. Then later when they open up the doors, we're probably not playing anymore. But
sometimes they have left it. Theory? Well, it's a fair one, except it doesn't account for those times when we've seen them leave it on the station for weeks at a time. I've seen them leave it on the station for 3 weeks, 4 weeks straight.
What about this? Maybe they have some sort of weird device that enables them to listen to anything online that they want. They choose to tune it to Ochelli.com, and maybe they turn it on in the kitchen, and then when they're there, again, maybe doing prep work when nobody else is there, they turn the volume up, and then instead of turning it off, they just turn the volume knob down so nobody's even listening, and then when they're there by themselves again, they turn the volume knob up.
That's a possibility, but again, it's really weird, and I would love it if we heard from that listener from Germany. If it's one guy, if it's a whole bar full, I don't care. I would just love to hear from you. And we can even do a little AI translation thing. I got a way to do that over Skype. So if you want to be on the show and even you're not comfortable with your English, we could bring you on Uncle or Aaron's show. I'm offering Aaron's show. I shouldn't, but I think, Aaron, you'd be willing to.
I would like, yeah.
You get some intimate people.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
The new listener. And just for the rest of the record, though, the rest of our listeners are very light tonight because it's an odd late night Uncle show. And it's gone over 2 hours now. Yeah. But we only have, it looks like 4 listeners in the United States on my stream. And a couple in the UK. A couple that are just being described, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 that are being described as European Union. And I don't know what that means.
Union people. Union people.
People.
That's what it is. Union people.
Union workers.
Union workers, yeah.
And
organized labor.
The weird thing is that right now, 75% of the listeners on Ochelli.com are all using, ready? Mozilla. So they're all using like Firefox to listen to us somehow. And the remaining 25% are Apple iPhones, which is usually what dominates the listenership on Uncle and the Age of Transitions, is the Apple iPhone. So there you go. iPhone, let me see, any iPads? No, these are iPhones. iPhone 5 particularly. iPhone 13.
I got a new iPhone 16.
12. These iPhoners, Uncle. These old iPhoners. Who are they? What are they doing? Why are they doing this?
Well, who the hell's this guy with an iPhone? iPhone 5. An iPhone 5. How old is an iPhone 5, Aaron? Any idea?
I'm not. Yeah, it's old. That's all I know. I can never. Not really good with knowing that.
All right. Well, I think we're down to shout-outs and letting Uncle bring us home. I hear him yawning. What do you think?
Yeah, it's about that time.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get tired, too.
So,
I can start saying your shout-outs.
Yeah, okay. Well, again, I'll shout out Chuck. I'll shout out anybody who's actually here. Anybody who listens to our live streams on the video channels. We'll hopefully be doing a live stream tomorrow on Saturday. We have been consistently doing that for many weeks on end. So hopefully we'll do a Vintage Gaming with Uncle or a VHS watch party tomorrow on the YouTube, on the Twitch, all those. Again, at Uncle Podcast, look for those. Uncle, who you got as a shout out?
Shout out to people that called, especially Jimmy and to Chuck that's doing whole day's work on this receiving side, and And everybody else that was listening tonight, that's our show. 300 and... 27.
See you next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye. Sweet.